Hello viewers and welcome back to another video from GT Sports Mates, where you will be joining us at Spa. That's right, myself on pole in the Mustang. Very unusual, I know on pole, I don't know what's going on. John right behind me in third place. We both qualified surprisingly well in quite a busy lobby, and it was a fast lobby as well. Now when I say the gloves are going to come off, the gloves are going to come off. The elbows are going to be out. This was a wild race from the get-go practically. So sit back and relax. Coming up to turn one now. I've got the inside line. John coming around the outside. The Corvette who got off that line so quick. That car launched so well for him off the line. Doing a fantastic job going from second up into first place. John did get round the outside up in second, but the power of the Mustang just comes through there, as it does have a much better top end than the Subaru. But John's car is much better in the corners. So let's see how we get on. It's kind of like fire and ice here. We've got the Corvette and the Mustang, 1-2, much quicker in a straight line. John firmly in the slipstream of that Corvette, where his top end isn't as good, but the cornering is far better than both the Corvette and the Mustang. So this is going to be a very, very interesting race indeed. To throw in the mix, we also have a few other cars that are surprised actually to see in this race. We have the Supra behind John now in fourth place. Very overpowered car, I would say. Very, very fast in the straight line. Very good in the corners as well if you can get used to it. Quite the overpowered little car that is. Big shock for me when I came into this race was the Beetles. Yeah, the very peculiar choice of car, the Volkswagen Beetle, simply because the straight line speed not very good at all, to be completely honest. But the cornering ability, superb. So, like I said, fire and ice race. Straight line speed versus cornering. How will it go? We're going to find out. But anyway, back to the race, as we're coming around now onto what could only really be described as the back straight. I know it's got like a massive bend in the road, but it's completely flat out. And this is where the Mustang will start stretching its legs. John firmly in the toe, hoping that I don't manage to gap him too much, because he will then start losing speed to the Corvette behind, which is quicker, like I said, in the straight. Coming down to a very difficult part of the track now, the last chicane. John on the inside, the Corvette looked for a move, wasn't quite there. And then out of nowhere, the Supra gives John a little bit of a tap as we come round onto the home straight. Nothing too much though. John goes off track, yes, but doesn't spin out. Managed to keep the power down and get back on track. Coming into the first corner, absolutely out of nowhere, out of left field, comes a Volkswagen Beetle and absolutely destroys John. Pushes John so wide off track that he actually lost a lot of speed and time there. As you can see, the Corvette flying back past into second place. But you can see the difference in quality when it comes to the cornering up through Eau Rouge. Even in the slipstream of that Corvette, where you lose all sorts of downforce, John managed to do a superb job. The Corvette a little bit more all over the road, but that's the difference. Cornering versus speed. Which one is more important? Things starting to heat up a little bit now, as you can see. The elbows are definitely out. The gloves are off. People now just really not caring. Going for any move they can, really, even if it involves just pushing somebody clean off track. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop here on lap 2. No, it does carry on. But sometimes they're just the races that you end up in. We don't particularly like that here at GT Sports Mates. We like fair racing, clean racing, but when you're not in control of the rooms, then sometimes you can't do anything about it. John reading the race very well, and as you saw, D-Day in third place was on his outside. John had the inside line, but he knew if he hadn't have broke to take that corner, D-Day was going to come straight across and hit him, which potentially would have seen John go straight off into the barrier and could have potentially just seen him drop down the field. So John doing very well to see that coming. Backed off to live another day, to fight another day, should I say. And he's done well there. Trying to hold on to the slipstream is going to be key for John here. The guys in front pulling away ever so slightly, but they are battling, and that's where things go downhill for people. When they start battling early on in races, like lap 2 or 5, no need to battle at this point. No, yeah, go for a move if it's there, but no need to battle too much because you just lose so much speed. Not worth it. As you can see here, both cars going a little bit deep in that corner. John doing perfectly well, but all of a sudden the Corvette not happy with the fact he's been overtook by John there and just tries his hardest to push him off. What is going on? John only just managed to keep it on there, as you can see, onto the track, and only just getting round the corner, the Corvette tried to slam that door shut. John was too far up the inside. Yes, John has dropped down into 4th position, but it doesn't, there's no excuse from the Corvette. He saw John and he knew exactly what he was trying to do, just trying to push him off track. But John, wise to it, and lives again fighting today, coming down the very long straight now, and it's just a train of cars. That's what we are looking at now, a train of cars, and ironically, it's 2 fast cars versus 2 good cornering cars. So it's all going to come down to who can get around the corners best. Because if you get on the straight, the Corvette and the Supra there in second will manage to hold off the 2 Beetles now and the Subarus. John struggling here, dropping down to 6 a little bit, but there are some decent cornering opportunities coming up where John can put that skill of the Subaru, the cornering ability of the Subaru, to good test and to good play as he moves up into 5th place here. Now, for anyone who's new to the channel, please, welcome. Hope you're enjoying what you've seen so far. Please go and have a look at our other races, because what I'm going to say here, you probably won't understand if you've not seen any of the other races. We're watching John here in the black Subaru, and what we know about John, it doesn't really matter where he is in the race in position or what lap you're on. You cannot write him off. He could be down in 8th place at this point, and I would still put him on a podium. That's just what John can do in this Subaru. I've seen him do some absolutely incredible things. Much like the other races here at GT Sports Mates, there's a few of us, so please go back, have a look at the other videos, and let us know what you think of our racing here at GT Sports Mates. That would be fantastic. Thank you for that in advance. Back to the race here. Coming down into the very difficult chicane. John looking to make a move up the inside and does it perfectly. Uses the braking power of that Subaru against the Corvette and up into 4th. He goes up 2 positions. He went in that lap. Went down to 6th, now up into 4th, and potentially could look for a move here on the Beetle if he can get a decent enough exit round the first corner. The Corvette once again showing that speed as it comes down the outside. And I have to admit, going around the outside at turn 1, very difficult, and he did do it, and it was clean. So well done to the guy in the Corvette there. Coming around Eau Rouge once again, and you can just see the difference between the Beetle, the Subaru, and the Corvette. The Beetle and the Subaru seem so planted through the Corvette all over the show, struggling to get the grip that he needs there, and that is showing as we're coming into the braking zones here, because the Beetle managing to stay ahead. Very unusual. I thought the Corvette would have easily passed that Beetle, but no, the elbows are definitely out, and he's going to pass him there, give him a little bit of a kick up the backside, send him off track a little bit. But like I said, to be expected in certain lobbies. John now up into 3rd place. So here we go, 1 lap back from where we are at this exact moment. John was in 6th place and he's up into 3rd now, and he's pulled away. You can see the gap there, actually. It's just getting bigger, actually. He has managed to make up 3 spaces in 1 lap against cars that, well, specifically the Corvette, much quicker in the straights. But John doing a superb job in the corners, and he managed to stay in that slipstream. And that's all he needs to do. Stay within the slipstream and attack in the corners, and you can see the outcome. Jumping back to myself now, and the reason we've done that is because things are going to start heating up a little bit at the front. Now, up until this point, I actually had a little bit of a gap between myself and second as I get onto the dirt there and just slide all the way around that corner. Luckily not picking up a penalty for the trouble. But yeah, I'd actually pulled off a little bit of a gap to the guy in second, D-Day. His superb, I will admit, his superb driving has managed to get him back in contest for P1 here. We're coming into the final chicane. Very difficult chicane this as well. Very, very easy to put the power down too early and spin out. So you've got to be very, very careful. But as we come across the line onto the final lap, I'm now very much aware that he is right behind. You can see there just how close things are getting between first and second. Now John goes around that corner a little bit too fast, goes off the track a little bit there, Nothing to worry about though, he's going to maintain 3rd place, but now he has to worry coming down through Eau Rouge and then the very long straight of the speed of that Corvette. Now, luckily for John, you can see the Corvette just cannot get around Eau Rouge flat out. He's definitely trying flat out. He just can't do it. So the Beetle is going to slip up between them, and that's going to give John a bit of a break, but not for long, because that Beetle, even though not very fast in the straight line, in the corners that Beetle is fantastic, and it's got so much grip that John really has to be careful. He has to park this car perfectly in every corner just so that Beetle cannot get past. And you could see then, as John came past in the camera, the damage that's been taken on the front of John's car just from all the hustle and bustle, people on his sides running for him and whatnot. That's the kind of lobby this was. A lot of rubbing, a lot of paint removal, as you can see there. But you know, like I said, some lobbies you're going to expect it. And to be fair, you know, I don't mind it. You know, if it's fair play, you know, I don't mind elbows out at all if it's fair. But if it's not fair, then that's when things start getting a little bit annoying. As you can see though, John doing a superb job getting that car to just stick to them apexes exactly where we need it. Now, here we go. You can see D-Day is right on my bumper. He is right there, right behind me. I cannot afford to make a mistake here. It's the final lap, flat out all the way down here. I think I have got the pace against the Supra in a straight line, but he has definitely got the brakes and the handling. As you can see, he just runs a little bit wide because of the slipstream that actually and the lack of downforce. But here we go. Really go for a move. I'm going to have to park this perfectly on the 1st and 2nd apex just to stop him. I've done that as best I can. I think it's going to be enough. It is going to be enough. I'm going to come across the line and take the win here at Spa for the 5 laps. I didn't see that coming on lap 4 when D-Day got so close behind. John, superbly driven up into 3rd place and takes the podium. Now we're just going to go back a little bit and just do a little bit of dissecting of what we saw. I did see a couple of things I wanted to see. So this is on the final lap, just the lap we've just watched. Have a look at what goes on here. Now, the Beetle gets the run on John here. John runs wide, comes back on track. That isn't what I was worried about. This is what I was worried about. Out of nowhere, a second Beetle came from. I don't know where he come from. He was never making that corner. Never making it. What was he thinking? I don't know. Please let me know what you think in the comments of what that guy was trying to do. Because if you ask me, it looked like he was trying to take out the other Beetle. But that's just me. We're going to level up at one more here as well. It's the Corvette. Now, we saw a couple of elbow out moments with the Corvette, and we're just going to have a look at this one to see what happens. So he goes very wide, and he keeps his foot down. No penalty, but what's he planning? Now, John is right behind him. John's done nothing wrong here. The Corvette here goes very deep into the chicane. John gets the run of it. And look at this. Push, push, push. He's just pushed him clean off into the wall. I mean, there's no need for it. There's absolutely no need for that. Let me know in the comments what you think. Anyway, that's all we've got time for. So please give us a like and a comment. And until next time, we will see you then.